Here we go. Hi and welcome to Hot Heads Education. My name is Shannon Walker and I'm going to be your educator for this tape-in extension event. I have been in the industry going on 20 years. I started very early on in my career with getting my hands in extensions. I would literally glue a weft to my scalp and not think twice about it. So to say the method and application has come a long way is a bit of an understatement. Back in October of 2020, I opened my own studio in Feasterville, which is right outside of Philadelphia. It was the best decision I have ever made. I am unlimited to the creativity I can have with my clients. Working for myself is an amazing choice that I made, and it's allowed me to be a part of the Hot Heads team, the flexibility it's given me within my business. Hot Heads is simple, fast, and extraordinary. Here at Hot Heads, we have two major initiatives. The first one is Heart for India. Heart for India is a program that is geared towards women and children in India, helping curve the line of poverty by providing them with career training and education. We also sponsor one woman a year to attend an American university. India is very near and dear to us here at Hot Heads because that is where we ethically source our hair. And in that, I mean, it's part of a religious experience for the women. So 3 to 4 times in a woman's lifetime in India, they will donate their hair to their gods. And as a part of that is a religious experience. Part of our team has been there to go through the experience with them and says that it was absolutely amazing. The other initiative that we have is Project Zero. Project Zero is our zero carbon footprint program. We like to say that we grow more than hair by giving back what we take out of the environment and trying to really minimize our manufacturing waste. So why Hot Heads? Hot Heads is 100% human Remy hair. For those who are not familiar, Remy means cuticle layer intact. It is also processed with a body wave, a natural body wave, and the ends are pre-layered. With the pre-layered ends in the body wave, it's automatically going to fall flawlessly within the natural hair, and it's also going to take the brunt work out of us cutting and blending as stylists. I don't know about you, but when I do a full head extension application and I have to cut the hair out, I'm literally watching my client's money fall on the floor. So I love that that's something that we take away from the customer having to see and having to waste their money on. Not to mention, like I said, it does lay better within the hair. So there are a few different options that we have here in the tapes, but first we're going to review our coloring. This is the newer condensed coloring, having all of our shades, over 40 different shades available across our product line. Within this coloring, I'm going to get a little closer so you can see. Within this coloring, each color has a key. Okay? This is why this is amazing. So this coloring key, right? So we have the number and what it's available in, whether it be Ultimate, Original, Micro, Mini, Weft, or Caraflex. And then it is actually an example of an extension. So you can have your client feel and touch, and when you're doing your consultation, it can lay within the hair so they know exactly how it's going to feel. Also, the awesome thing about the coloring is that the coloring has an example of each extension on it that we're going to review. So I will show you first. This is the original, which is the OG. In the original, you can see that the tape is adhered with a medical grade adhesive to the weft of hair. So you can see how dense and silky that is. The Ultimate looks like this, and the hair is hand sewn on top of the adhesive. You can kind of see it through the other side. On top of the adhesive, that's going to blend flawlessly within the hair around the hairline, or where the client may pull their hair up or be more sparse. The awesome thing about Ultimates is they are a little more dense, so they can add some more volume to the hair. And last but certainly not least is our Micro. The Micro is 1/4 inch wide with the 4 of these equal 1 complete extension. These are great for right around the hairline where someone needs more flexibility and movement, but these are going to need to be moved up more frequently than the original. So first and foremost, we have our original. Our original is the one that Hot Heads had invented first. This is always my fave to go to with tape-ins. An original comes in a 20-piece pack or a mini pack. The 20-piece pack makes 10 complete extensions, ranging from all of the colors within the swatches. Most of them come in the original, you just have to double check, except for the rooted that we have. The rooted is only available in the ultimates. The ultimates are, like we said, sewn directly on top of the weft, and they're available in rooted and multiple other colors, and the micros as well. Okay, so the guesstimated move up time for an original is 6 to 8 weeks, depending on how the client cares for it. The ultimate 6 to 8 weeks, the micros every 3 to 4 weeks. The micros need to be moved up further because more sooner because they're smaller and they can twist and bend within the hair and cause breaking and discomfort. So just know that if you're gonna make this an option for your client, that you need to make sure that they're committed to coming in and having these removed and reapplied. All right, so the different packs that we have are the ultimates. The ultimates come in a 12-piece pack, making 6 complete extensions. Typically want to pair an ultimate with an original. Like I said, the originals come in a 20-piece pack, 10 complete extensions. The micros also come in a 20-piece pack, being a 1/4 inch wide, making 10 complete extensions. And then there's also a mini pack available, which is 12-piece pack, making 6 individual extensions. We also have our fantasy shades, which are absolutely beautiful. They are a synthetic blend, meaning that you are able to put a certain temperature of heat on there. So the fantasy pack is our turquoise, our ocean blue, our purple, hot pink, and lilac, which are absolutely beautiful. So these can add a pop of color to your client's hair without worry of it fading. There's also our pastel pack, which is our lavender and our soft peach. Okay, these can be also paired with originals to give more of a natural feel within the client's hair and increase the percentage of human hair versus synthetic hair. So these are great. The available, depending on the ultimate or the original, the available lengths are 14-16, 10 to 12, 14-16, 18-20, and by special order, 22-24. We also have 3 different types of tapes. We have our OG tape, which I want to take off and show you how thin and flexible it is. It is a 60-piece pack. This is what the refill packs look like. So you will get 3 packs of originals refilled with 1 pack of tape. So this is what the actual thing looks like when it comes, okay? And I want to show you how thin it is by putting it on the back of my hand. You can barely see it. It's thinner than a Band-Aid. Okay, so this is a medical grade adhesive that is water resistant. It is, you use a alcohol-based solvent to remove the tape itself. There is also a single-sided. Now the originals can be layered up to 3 times without having to be removed. So that's an awesome feature. I can't tell you how many times I've had to go through other brands prior to just kind of testing them out, where I've had to peel the tape off and reapply. It's so messy. You don't have to do any of that with hotheads. So this is our next one, which is a single-sided. Single-sided can be put on either top of an original or an ultimate. I like to pair my ultimates, depending on where I put them, little pro tip, with a single-sided because it is a lot more hair than just an original, or for a section that can support an original but not the full weight of an original sandwich. That's just a little pro tip. So you can see this. Sorry, that's just my hand. You can see it. That's how thin the single-sided is. You can see that it's matte. So when this gets placed on top of the actual extension section or your piece that you're putting in, whether your original or your ultimate, it's not going to be shiny, so it's going to lay indetectable within the hair. They also come in 60 tabs. So every time I place an extension order for my client, and we'll go over building the perfect order, but I always order a pack of single-sided and a pack of original tape refills just to be on the safe side in case I find that I want to put a single-sided in there. And I can't tell you how many times that I've run out of tape tabs and was like franticking at the last second. So I always make sure I have at least 4 packs on hand. And last but not least for the tape is our micro. You can see how itty bitty these are. These come in the same 60 pack. You can see how itty bitty they are. So these are the ones that you're going to replace every 4 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks, depending on your client's hair growth. But they're just as thin as the original, and I'll show you that on the back of my hand. Take it off. Oh, it's not going to stick. It's the same exact as the original. My hands are just really dry, so it's not going to stick. But you get the point. So it's the same tape as the original. It has a shiny finish, and you can read, and here we go. There you go. You can see it now. I put it right on top of the original so you can see how thin it is. And you're not going to remove them anytime you reapply. You are just going to go right over the existing adhesive so that you are set up for a nice, thin, flawless application. Okay, client consultation. Client consultation is the biggest part of your service, aside from the application, obviously. Client consultation has been something that I struggled with prior to joining the Hotheads team. Within that, I didn't know how to build my perfect order without taking the guesswork out of it or the uncomfortability of it with my client when discussing price. Now that I'm a little bit more further in the industry, as far as my years of experience, I'm a little more comfortable having that conversation about price, and I build them a package. Within the package, Hotheads has developed this client consultation form. This is amazing. Oh, sorry. Within the consultation form, you can see, don't mind the burn on my hand, you can see that it asks all the questions that are necessary when you're doing your hair and scalp analysis, medical history, the density and volume that they need, and then down here, you can build your perfect order. Also down to installation, deposit, reinstallation, all of that stuff, and your client information. This is amazing. You can put whichever you need to do, whether it's Keraflex, sew-in, or tape and application. Keep this on file. I also use this for my hair wear, which we'll discuss in a minute. And I actually keep all my hair in this color-coordinated in an accordion file, accordion file. So if my clients have some extra hair or they have half a pack of tapes left, everything's in here in alphabetical order along with my new consultation forms, and I keep them in my cabinet so that when my clients come back and we do a consultation for them or we need to reorder hair, I can refer back to this form. When you're doing your client consultation, first and foremost, you want to make sure before creating your perfect order that you are matching them with the coloring. And within matching them, you want to make sure that you are matching them where the hair lives. So we're not going to match up here for an extension application unless we're using hair wear, but even then we're going to drop down. So if I have someone who's coming in for a full head of tapes, I'm going to match them from mid-lengths to ends. So you want to always use the color ring to match them where the hair ends. Now, when I do my applications, I order a pack of ultimates and 2 to 3 packs of originals, typically in different colors, so that when that goes into their hair, they have a flawless, seamless blend, and it's not looking like I just put a number 1 in dark hair, and it's just gonna look flat and not give it any density, anything. So that's important when you're doing your consultation as well. So again, you wanna match where the hair lives, and during your consultation, you're gonna decide whether they need a pack of micros, a pack of ultimates, how many packs of tapes you're gonna need. Typically for a full head application, you're gonna need 2 to 3 packs of originals. And if someone has less dense hair, it all depends on the length and volume and density that they're going on. But the more hair that you order, the more of an impact you're gonna have within the style and building density. With that being said, if they have extra hair, you can use the hair up to 3 times. If they have extra hair and you want to swap out some pieces, you can keep it in their file and always have it on hand. I always think it's so important to have extra hair when you're building your order because you don't want to ever run out of hair. So that's super, super important. That's kind of a bit of a pro tip. And you're also going to decide which areas of application you're going to put the hair. Within the areas of application, You would want to put micros closer to the front hairline if you need them. If they're very dense in the front and you're building density, and you need to continue to build the density to fill in corners or breakage, you could put an ultimate to build that density too. In the back, you're typically going to use an ultimate on the bottom if they wear their hair up, and you're also going to continue on to use originals in the back. So that's all part of your custom order that you want to use your consultation for and build your perfect order. All right, so now we're going to jump into pre-application. So within pre-application, before we jump in the pre-application, I'm going to go over hair wear. So first and foremost, we have the band, which is from Hot Heads. This band is amazing. They come in 10 to 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. They may not still come in 10 to 12. I'm not 100% certain on that. But you can see this is a color mount. This is a lavender color mount. And you can see that it is held on by elastics right here. Make sure I'm in the camera, I apologize. So you can see right here how it's on there. That's an elastic band with almost like a fishing line material. And then you can see how soft this mesh is and how seamlessly and natural it looks. So I'm going to show you how to pop this on our girl here. Okay, we're going to come right over. It goes over the temple area and then just drops into place. And you can see how it falls at natural fall. So if I were to let her hair down, she would have a beautifully enhanced style with a pop of lavender, which is so cool. Okay, next we have our over the top. Over the top this is actually our clip-in piece. This also comes in hair wear, but this is also the over the top clip-in. You can see it's obviously Hot Heads hair, which is blended into a mesh top that you can see right here, how thin and mesh and breathable that is, and the high quality clips that are lined with a rubber lining to ensure the best healthy grip of the hair. This is going to live right on top of the scalp. This is for your girl who is thinning or just needs a different pop of color on the top or likes to change up her style. So this covers the biggest diameter of the hair wear, and you can see how long and full it is. We also have a volumizer, which this is a great example of hair wear itself. Hair wear is the same adhesive as Hot Heads tape, but the tape lives within the piece. So as you can see, the tape will go in these slots on both sides. You use your tool after this is placed on top of the head to pull it through. These are all special order. The band is not, the hair wear is. So you can contact your distributor to place your order for that. And then we are going to go into pre-application. Pre-application, you are going to wash your client's hair 2 times with deep clean. And then after they are washed with deep clean, you're going to take them to your chair. You're going to blow dry them. And then you're going to start your tape application. Blow dry and flat iron, sorry. And then you'll start working on your tape application. Now I've already pre-sectioned my girl and I have my hair ready. In this application, we are going to do 2 rows and a tempo row. This is an example of a 20-piece pack as well. This is how it comes, okay? So you can see for yourself. This is how it will come. All right, so now my girl is already sectioned. Now this is a pro tip. Your client is paying for a luxury service, so I think it's very important to keep your sections neat and clean and tied up at all times so that they don't look crazy when they're looking in the mirror in the middle of their service. So we are going to start with our extension application. First and foremost, we use the application of A-OK. A-OK means you are going to do an A-OK method with your hands, your finger placement, to roll and apply. So you always want to start like this, A-OK. The hair is going to go, you're going to put your pinky against the head, and you're going to roll down. One important thing when it comes to tape is you never, ever, 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 ever want to touch the adhesive. I'm just going to lower this for 1 second. Hold on. So we can see the application. Okay. So we're going to get into our application. Sectioning is important. Nice clean sections. I've already pre-sectioned her, like I said. If you notice your sections aren't beautiful, just go back and tighten them up a bit because clean sectioning is really important. Anything that gets caught within the tape of the hair is going to cause breakage and most importantly, discomfort for the client. Now, when you're going through and you are doing your application, you want to use the 2-finger rule when it comes to sectioning, meaning 2 at the hairline, 2 at the nape, 2 at the sides, 2 above the ears. That way it's going to put the hair at natural fall, and it's also not going to show through when the customer brushes their hair or pulls their hair up in a slight ponytail. So now that I have her top sectioned off, I'm going to go and try for my nape section. I'm going to test to see, slide my fingers underneath. I can barely see them. Make sure I'm 2-finger widths from the bottom. Perfect. I'm going to clean up my section, nice and even, and we are going to snake our way up the head. By snaking our way up, we are going to leave 0 room. We're going to leave very little room in between the extension and have it fall most naturally within the section and build the most density with the weight line. Okay. 2-finger widths from the side, 2-finger widths from the bottom. I'm going to keep my fingers here as my guide. I am going to take my section. Your section should always match the density of the tape that the extension that you're using. I'm going to do my A-OK, pinky against the scalp, hair between the middle and pointer. I'm going to pivot up. I'm going to place the hair against where my pinky is, and I'm going to roll down. That A-OK method places the hair at natural fall. Now, I'm going to make sure that I have both sides out so that I'm not causing my client any discomfort before I place the top piece on. We're going to go and do our top piece now. And we are going to sandwich the 2 together. Okay. Now for your sectioning, you can use one of 2 things. All right, so now I'm going to seal, make sure my corners are down tight, and that's your application. It's in there. Okay, you should be able to lift it up and it not have anything underneath. I'm going to pull her a little closer. I don't have any baby hairs stuck in under here, and this extension is right at natural fall, so it's going to feel amazing to my client. May feel a little bit of a tension when she first gets them in, but that's just going to show you, that's just going to tell you that you put them in correctly. Now when applying, you can use two different tools. We have our Hot Heads Applicator Rat Tail extension. Love this. This is my favorite for sectioning. Or we also have our Hot Heads finger pick. I like this for my fusion application, and sometimes depending on whose hair I'm doing, if their hair is really thick, I like to use this too so I don't have to keep picking this up and putting it down. All right, so now our next one, we're going to leave very little space in between. I'm just going to readjust my sectioning. I tend to do that a lot to make sure I have a clear view of where I'm applying. So moving with our snake movement, I'm going to leave a little bit in between. And then I'm going to keep going across until I don't have enough room for another extension. Okay, pop this off. Little pro tip, sidebar. I like to put these in a cup instead of letting them fall over the floor. Again, your client's paying for a luxury service, so these little tabs everywhere are kind of like, not a good look. So my pro tip for that is just put them in a little plastic cup or even a color bowl. and it makes it so much easier for your application. Now notice I'm never touching the tape tab at all with my finger or even the comb. I'm going to do my A-OK, pinky to the head, pivot up, keep equal tension, drop it right underneath my pinky, roll down, okay? Just to make sure I have everything that needs to be on there, I will slide over this a little bit, take the corners out, make sure there's no tension or pulling. And if there is, you can just remove it before you put the next piece on. Okay. And we are going to close this sandwich. Okay. Right on top, corner to corner, which this, by putting it corner to corner and really matching up those ends and squeezing it nice and tight, you're providing a waterproof seal. So as you can see how much density I built in her already, and that's just our first row. Now I don't have enough over here to keep going, so I'm going to take my next section and I'm going to start on this side and continue from right to left. Your section thickness is going to depend on your client's density. If you're adding length in someone who has very, very thick hair, your sections are going to be closer together. If you're adding on someone who has finer hair, you can afford to put more space in between. Or if you're just adding a pop of color, the sectioning can vary as well. So I'm going to get my nice tight section out of the way. So this isn't sticking straight up and it looks nice and neat. I'm just going to tuck it up and away. All right, so you can see how you can see her hair through this section. So that's perfect. I'm going to start where I left off on this side. Okay. Now, don't be afraid to fill her head with some clips if it means it's going to keep it out of your way. Okay, up and over, nice and neat, right? 2 finger widths away. You're going to try and offset it slightly as you go so it lays a little bit less on top of where the previous section is. A-OK. Roll down, finger barely touching the adhesive, smooth it down, close it off. I'm having a little technical difficulty with getting those off of, the practice hair tends to stick a little bit more than the regular hair, so I apologize for the delay. Okay. We're gonna go in, corner to corner, top to side, seal it off with your fingertips, okay? And keep snaking up the back. Now we will continue to snake up the back until we fall right below the ear. Once we fall right below the ear, we're gonna redo our sectioning and drop our sides down and continue up to the temple. On the temple, we typically do 1 ultimate and a row of micros to build that density and also flexibility within the client's style. So I'm going to leave little hair in between so it's not right on top of each other or right next to each other. I'm going to take my next extension, continue with the A-OK, right under natural fall. Now the way to get your holding it like this is the way to get it to fall with the correct tension at natural fall. Okay, tap it out. And then I'm going to put my next one on and close the sandwich. Oops. Okay, right on top and close it off. Okay, now they should all move with lots of flexibility and no discomfort to your client. And you can see because it's slightly offset, I don't have a hole in her length. It's nice and smooth. So as we continue to snake up the back of the head, we will stop right here, right at the top of the hair. We are gonna drop this section down completely and then continue up until you are even with the side rows and keep building your density. So removal is very simple. We use an alcohol-based solvent for the removal process, and we also use what's called a reapplication tablet. The reapplication tablet is such a lifesaver. When I first learned hotheads, they suggested you actually put it on a wig head, a wig holder, and pin where the extensions came off so you know exactly which row they go in. So when you're doing your reapplication tablet, you're gonna start your removal from top to bottom. So you can go from your top row number 5, bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom. Then when you're ready to remove them from here and reapply, you are going to be able to put them exactly back to where they came from. So this is such a lifesaver. This is available through your distributor as well. I have multiple of these, so I don't run out, or if I have 2 clients in one day, I can just make sure that I don't have to stop and clean it. It does get a tad bit messy with the adhesive. This one needs a good cleaning. I just wiped it down. But that's just adhesive on there, and it just wipes right off, and then you can remove and reapply for your next client. So with her, we are gonna start at our bottom row. I'm gonna clip my rest of my hair out of the way. You are going to want to use the Hotheads Remove solvent, which I said is an alcohol-based solvent. So it evaporates quickly, allowing you to get right back into your removal and reapply. So we're going to squirt on top of the tape tab so we can seep in between the sandwich. We're going to go in with our applicator tool that we used, our rat tail. We are going to slowly let it loosen up, and we are going to roll down nice and smooth when it releases. So you can see now that it's been used how thin they are, so very thin. And then this is my 5th row, top one. And my 5th row, bottom one. Okay, and I'll continue across the next one, then I'll move up, move up, move up, move up. And then when I'm ready to roll, I flip them over so they're out of the way, and then I start from the bottom and work my way up. So it's really cool. Now for reapplication, I would take her back to the bowl after I removed all of her extensions. Then I would wash her 2 times with deep clean and wait for the adhesive to dry up completely on the tabs, then re-tab them and reapply. I like to re-tab as I go, so I'm not taking an extra 45, like half hour to re-tab the actual hair itself. So I'll leave it on the board until it's time to go back in. I will take the extension off. I'll put the replacement tab on, and then I'll put it back into the client's hair. Cutting and blending. Always want to shake the hair out, and you always want to cut extensions dry. You never want to cut them wet. And you're going to want to cut it where the hair is going to live for the best blending. Make sure you can see. So for her, you are going to point cut or razor cut her ends. I always like to point cut. And then you will come in and see where her hair needs to be blended. And I'm either going to razor or side cut her. Bring her a little closer. So you can see exactly where her natural hair falls when I shake it out. And I'm going to keep my body placement in my hands in the right area. I'm going to take my shears and I'm going to slide completely down this section, knowing that her natural hair is out, and that's going to give me the best blend. Now around the face, I tend to shake out and razor. So if this was her angle section, I would find where her angle starts naturally and where her extensions lay, and I would shake it out, and I would slide my razor straight down to face frame. So that's Super important when you're cutting. Definitely only do it when it's dry. Removal, reapplication, we already discussed that. And then maintenance. Maintenance is so important with these extensions. Your clients need to avoid anything that is alcohol or ethanol based that will release the tab within their hair. Also, anything that's highly concentrated in oil will over oil and over proteinize the tape tab itself and cause it to almost slip and break down a bit. So when I'm building my perfect order, I always build the order with the Hotheads products in it. The Hotheads has 3 things in their wet line. They have their hydrate mask, their smooth conditioner, and their clean shampoo. The deep clean shampoo that we have at our back bar is not for clients. It's only to prep the hair. It's a high quality clarifying shampoo available to professionals only to help prep the hair, and it also has conditioning agents in it, so you don't have to worry about adding conditioner to your clients for that. We also have, building in my perfect order, I would include the pocket brush or the actual wide brush that is a combination of boar and plastic bristles that help brush through the extensions beautifully, much like a wet brush, depending if your client has one or not. If they do have a wet brush, and you know they do, when I put their package together, and this is just a pro tip, I will do their package with their hair, the application, the brush, and the clean shampoo and the smooth conditioner. I do recommend, if you have a client who is getting a blonde extension from the line, that you also order a recover pack and a hydrating mask. The recover pack is meant specifically for Hotheads extensions, and what it is it is a clarifying treatment in a sense that will pull out any minerals that are built up on the blondes. There isn't a thing with the blondes that if they are exposed to a certain mineral, some like an SPF and certain moisturizers, they will turn a tinge of a pink. You can bring them in, you can have them use the recover pack. You remove the hair out of their head, take the recover pack, let the hair fall off of the tape tabs, will be on the outside of the bowl, put the stuff in the recover, let it soak for about 10 minutes, rinse, brand new. Also, the hydrate mask is great for blondes because they are processed higher than our naturals, and just like any blondes, and the hydrate will actually help bring them back to life when they start to get a little dehydrated. So I will put that into their package, and within that, you are also going to include the maintenance card, which tells them what and what not to do, how to keep up with their hair and the maintenance itself, and also the do's and don'ts, which is another option for the clients. You know, how to wear their hair. They can't wear it up. They should put it in a braid when they sleep. Never go to bed with your head wet. If you're going to have your hair damp, make sure you dry the tape tabs. All of those things are things that you're going to give to your clients in addition to reviewing in their consultation or during their service. So that's really important to remember. The styling options that are available, you can curl, you can do anything you would with your natural hair, but they have to care for it as well as they would with their natural hair, meaning they should be brushing it 3 to 4 times a day. There's also 2 different types of errors that we can come across. There can be the application error or user error. And it's really important as a stylist to identify what may be which if your client comes in with an issue. For example, if you have a client who has a lot of breakage rate at her hairline, it could be 1 or 2 things. It could be you applied the tape tab too close to her vellus hair on her face, or she's pulling her hair up in a high pony tight and all this hair is breaking. So it's important to go over that when she comes back in with her issue, that you can find a solution together. Us as stylists, we're going to make mistakes. It's important to essentially own up to them as a professional and make sure your client is getting the best experience for what they're paying. Now, when it comes to pricing, as a master stylist myself and an extension specialist, I price like on the higher end for my area, but as a stylist, I also do packages. If it's a color correction, I have a color correction package that starts at an hourly rate. If I do my extensions, it'll be a package. It'll be my service fee built in with my price of the hair, price of the products, and then that's what I would present to the client. So it all depends on how you run your business, what your area is. I always like to say, find your market median. That way you're competitive, but you're also not overpricing yourself and you're not gonna have anyone in your chair. The best way to do it across the board is to find your hourly rate. Once you find your hourly rate, then you know what you're worth per hour, and that's going to be your service fee. Another awesome thing that we have is a salon menu. It's a PDF file you can request from your distributor. On the PDF file, it has all the services that are listed within Hothead's menu and the colors that are available, the application, all of those things, even the wet line and the brushes. You can actually upload your salon logo to it and enter your own pricing, put it on your website, email it to your customers, or print it out and hand it to them physically. So those are really cool. We also have a huge base on social media. We love to see your work. So make sure you pop onto Instagram and follow Hothead's Hair Extensions, and also follow Hothead's Hair Extensions. And you can also follow me, which is Lux Hair by Shannon Murray. If you have any questions or any concerns, you can reach out to us directly. You can DM anybody on the Hotheads team. We would be happy to hear from you. And I want to thank you for coming in and taking the time to share this experience with me. And I'm so excited that this is something else that you can build to your portfolio. And again, thank you and have a wonderful day.